What's up? What's up? What's up? Rich Risings, Grand Risings, good morning. This is a new mini episode of Unspoken Truth. I'm your host, Denise. What's up, man? It's cold outside. I'm gonna just start by saying that. Okay. Welcome to all my new people, to the people who's been consistent. I appreciate y'all. Today's topic is sex as a weapon. Now I know you hear that you like, oh boy, but we got to talk about it. Okay, so now for those that know me and those that don't, I'm a firm believer of using myself as an example and a vessel to kind of talk about the things that we discuss every week. Um, this topic right here, crazy. Sex is a weapon. Okay, so now when I was thinking about the topic, when I was coming up with what I was gonna say or discuss today, I was like, I I see it so often, and I'm never gonna portray an image as though I don't know or I have never done because that's not reality. Okay, um, a lot of times people do use their bodies, their sexual counterparts, to persuade people to do what they want them to do. I'm not saying I've not never done it because I have. I'm human at the end of the day. I have. I think my problem is over time, the more you continue to indulge or entertain in certain things, it don't make no sense. It ought to be a cutoff point with certain things. I believe this is one of those things that needs a cutoff point. There's no way. I'm I'm frustrated about it because it's like when did we get to this place where we just can't do stuff for each other without a condition attached to it? It is my problem. It's not so much of what somebody is choosing to do with their personal time, because to each his own. It's your life. Live it however you want. I just think it sets the tone for bad blood and the connection and relationship when that's the foundation and basis of it. It don't feel good. As a woman, it don't feel good. You start to feel like um, a product, an item, something that could be negotiated about when it comes to sexual advances and um, manipulation and things like that. Okay, it starts to make it hard. I know me. It has been severely hard to just be a friend nowadays. To just genuinely have a good heart, want to show up for somebody in their time of need, and that be completely overshadowed by somebody's need or somebody's urge to engage in sexual activity, and it really gets under my skin and bothers me. um and the reason I think that is because I listen to a lot of things that people tell me, both women and men, about this particular subject. And the women will say, well, the men always trying to lead the conversation or the connection with sex. And the men will say, well, the women always trying to get something from me. They whether it's some money, whether it's food, whether it's any kind of engagement. And I think that's ludicrous. I'm not saying that it don't happen, that it's not going on. I'm not saying that. I just feel like the reasons why people is engaging in these type of activities is insane for real. It don't make no sense. Because if you start the conversation off on sex, then how you gonna determine or control how somebody feel about it? Cuz how you doing? Happy Tuesday, man. We today's topic is sex as a weapon. That's what we're talking about. I think a lot of us have probably experienced this, where you walk away from the connection like, yo, I'm not a piece of meat. You just and I feel like this too often, where it's like, dang, that's all you see when you talk to me, when we exchange dialogue. The first thing that comes to mind is, oh, wonder what she like in bed. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, why is that the first thing somebody thinking about, man? And why it's being so heavily used against somebody. Me being a survivor of abuse, that's a trigger for me. For me to constantly be feeling like a man is hounding me about it. I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. It starts dredging up these uncomfortable feelings. I'm a woman, and I'm not saying that men are wrong for having urges, feelings, and eyeballs. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, could you stop approaching women in a manner that makes them feel uncomfortable? Because the next thing somebody gonna say is, well, I followed through with that connection and we did what we did, and it wasn't even all that. It wasn't all of that because you didn't allow her to feel comfortable with you. So it wasn't gonna be nothing. And let's be clear, sexual activities is a deeper connection than just the physical, man. It's not just about the physical. You exchanging some energies and things about yourself with this other person. And so my question is, how do we get to this point where sex is at the top of the list? Before we start worrying about this person's mental state, before we start trying to investigate their emotional well-being, before we start trying to figure out if they stable in life, if they got anything positive going on, like, these are the things that I would say would come way before you start thinking about whether we gonna lay down together. And I've given out this free game before in some of my videos. Hey, man, we as women, we already know. We already know if that's what's going to happen before you even think about it or try to make a decision in your mind. I had a guest on a couple months ago saying that women controls the sexual activity in the relationship. And I agree with that. I agree with that. But can we stop using each other as pawns? It makes no sense to have any kind of sexual encounter with somebody for nothing. What is the purpose? Just to say you did it? At some age, that's ridiculous. Because after a certain age, you shouldn't still be trying to count or see how many, or that shouldn't even be your mind frame, man. With all the stuff that's going on in the world, why? So see, we got to dig a little bit deeper into this as to how we got here. What's really going on underneath the surface, because a lot of times we don't want to look past the surface. We only want to deal with what's going on that we can physically see, but we don't never want to try to discover what some of the things that we do is rooted in. I think that's important in order for you to have awareness, in order for you to have acceptance, in order for you to make any kind of moves as to change. Without those things, it's never gonna happen. You just gonna keep saying to yourself, oh, I should be, or I want to. Okay, because you said this is why I'm single. I want someone to get to know who I am inside instead of trying to get inside physically and not even know me mentally. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, 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 yes. And I feel like everybody has had a relationship that left them feeling a certain type of way. Okay. I'm not saying that nobody has experienced heartbreak, because that's a risk. that all of us take when we put ourselves out here to engage, to try to match or meet our person, to at least still continue to give ourselves a chance. Because sometimes people, after they get hurt and they go through tumultuous, toxic, dysfunctional, unhealthy relationships, it tarnishes them. And this is why I keep saying, and I'm going to keep saying it, until you can heal from whatever it is that you've endured, past or present, you're going to keep running into the same thing. It's just going to be a different body. So now the question is, because I was talking to my mom before I got on here and we was talking, and she was like, well, have you ever done? I have. I started this conversation off with saying that I have done, used my body as a weapon. I have. But I feel like when you know better, you do better. There's no way that you should still be doing that. If you actually looking for something genuine, something long-term, something worth having, then it's going to have to be some changes within you too. Because understand that the people that you attracting is something within you is attracting that. It's something in you. I'm not saying that you wrong or guilty or something wrong with you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you need to figure it out. And I posted yesterday, we look for everything we need outside of our bodies. And we don't realize that everything we need is inside of our bodies. We're not going to find peace outside our body. You're not going to find love outside of your body until you have found it inside first. Everything that we so adamantly want and wish to have starts with us first. We can stop with the whole, oh, they need to have this and be that. But man, I watched a video. Dr. Umar did an interview. I so love him. A lot of people don't like him, but he has a lot of valid points by being a psychologist. But he talked about Black women wanting a finished product. And I agree with him to a certain extent, but I also, because he was talking about how other cultures will meet our Black men right where they at. They may be down on their luck. They may be in the midst of trying to build something, and they'll invest in them. As opposed to women, Black women, we not willing to do that. And I sat and I thought about that for a second. I said, well, shoot, I've never had that mindset before. Because if you're going to be with me, we have to be able to compliment each other. I want to be able to brag about my man. I want him to be able to brag about his woman. But I think too often us as Black women have been burned. We have been burned. I'm not saying that we are incapable, because we not. I know a lot of Black women that have invested in their men. I know a lot of them. And what a lot of times they will use what you've invested in them and go give it to the next woman. So you essentially built him up for him to be great with somebody else. And I think that is what has allowed a lot of us to be hesitant. But then you got to go a little bit deeper than that. What kind of red, white, blue flags was going on before you even thought about investing in him or her? Because sometimes we miss the clues. We don't see them. And I think that's the part that makes people be angry. That's the part that makes people be detached. That's the part that makes people stop putting themselves out here. But me personally, I feel like every single person in this world deserves to be loved, man, and to genuinely feel it. I don't think nobody should just be okay, pacified with watching everybody else have that and never experience it for themselves. Even if it was not long term. Because I can say that I've had the pleasure of experiencing real, genuine love with no conditions. None. It wasn't even no physical activity happening. My mom said, well, first let me read what my cousin said. She said, but not all Black women. I've invested in a few, but here I am alone. My mom said, don't be so quick to let your guard down, study it. Yeah. But see, it's gotten just a little bit more difficult, man, because you have people who are so good at wearing masks and this creating this facade and this fake image of who they want to be. That be the person you be the met and fell in love with. It don't even be them for real. And then when the facade is done, because you can only keep the charade going on for so long, then I meet you, the real you, and I'm like, who is this person? Instead of you just, hey, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And giving me the opportunity instead of robbing me of the opportunity to make a positive or good decision that benefits me. Because this is, we talking about relationships. You can't make a decision for me. I need to be able to make a decision for myself. My cousin says sending a representative. Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah. My mom said the truth will set you free. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I can't help but keep going back to the fact that most people don't like themselves. And that's why sites like this and Facebook and all the other platforms they've created over the years even exist, because it gives people a place to create a fantasy about who they want to be. So much so that people is literally taking what they created on social media into their real lives and expecting somebody to be okay with that. This is a fantasy world. This is not reality for a lot of people. And I don't care what they post. I don't care what they show. I don't care what they share. We've seen countless celebrities and famous people tell you, hey, I may have did that performance, but right before it, I was bawling my eyes out. Or right before it, I had went through something real traumatic. But we have to start investing in ourselves first. It's why I even shared that to begin with. Is why the conversation even went there in the first place. We too busy trying to give everybody else what it is we need for ourselves. And you just cannot pour from an empty cup, man. I know it. I tried it. I tried it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be able to. You can't. What that's gonna do is create resentment within yourself, because you're gonna be like, I just keep giving and all they keep doing is taking. Until you have, like my mom said, study the person, including yourself. Because sometimes we be the problem. It's not the other person all the time. Sometimes we be the problem. But can we stop using each other as tools? Because that's what this conversation is about. Common denominator. Yeah. Yeah. But we have too much expectations for other people and won't set no boundaries or expectations for ourselves. and then get mad when the person we set the expectations for don't live up to that. How does that make sense? And that's why I tell people I ain't got no expectations for nobody. I can only have expectations for myself. Me. It doesn't matter what they think or want or believe. It's me. I got the expectation that I'm going to take you for who you show me you are and not who I want you to be. I have expectations for myself that I'm going to collect as much data about you as possible so I can make an honest, positive choice on whether or not I'm going to deal or not deal. And we going to keep saying that because don't nobody date really no more. That's the crazy part. Everybody want to cut corners and skip stuff. And, oh, I just want it to be here. I want it to be 5 years down the line as soon as we meet. No. For me, that is a person who wishes to have something they did not put in the work, energy, and effort to receive. No, it don't work like that. To me, that's a red flag. If it seems like a person is always trying to figure out what they can do to speed stuff up, red flag. Because what is you in a hurry about, bro? What you in a hurry about? It take all of us time to be molded and shaped into who we are. It's going to take time for you to figure us out, for us to figure you out. What is the rush? What is the rush? I don't want to. My problem is I don't want to. I think a lot of people want to be fixed. And so they start using themselves as a tool and a weapon. Maybe because they don't want to be alone. But understand that there's a feeling when you get left behind and you know that person really don't care nothing about you, man. I think that's worse than you just being alone. I'd rather be alone than walk away feeling like I don't believe I just got played like that. Because from their end, it was never about no emotional attachment. It was never about no relationship. It was a situationship. They got it off already. If you set boundaries that I'm not going to be created within this connection to just serve your needs and not get none of mine met, that better be one of your boundaries. I'm telling you right now, a person with no boundaries will forever get walked on, mistreated, disrespected. It's a fact. And when I'm saying all of this stuff, I want you to know, like, yeah, these men, a lot of them, that's all they really care about. They think that's gonna solve something for them. They think that's gonna make life better for them. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. When you going through some stuff, me personally, I don't see how there's any desire for sexual activity. If my life is in shambles, if my mental is off, if my emotional well-being is not stable, I don't understand. It's entirely too many freaky bums out here. Y'all got all the time in the world to lay up, shack up, sex somebody down, but you ain't went out here and applied for no job. You ain't got no place to stay. You ain't got no car. You not even stable. So what will warrant you to believe that sex from somebody else is gonna help you in your situation, man? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I feel like it's just adding more to your problems, for real. It's not going to solve nothing you going through. And that's just like keep going applying for dead end jobs when you know that you qualify for that job you really want, but you won't go apply. Ooh, why is it even on your mind? I'm telling you, cuz I can't make this stuff up because I don't understand it. I'm too busy over here trying to figure out my life, trying to get myself together. I don't understand how that's up here on your list. You're essentially creating a connection with somebody that you know from start to finish is gonna be temporary and don't really matter. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Who winning from that? Yeah, you may have busted a nut, but whatever you was going through before that was still gonna be there for you, waiting on you. That be the thing about us. We try to avoid who we is. No, I'll deal with that later. Hey man, you sit it off to the side or put it on back burner or whatever it is you want to do with it, it's still going to be there. Precisely, right. After it's all said and done, now what? Now you left feeling inadequate and they done went on about their business because they got what they was in it for and kept it pushing. That's settling. You selling yourself short. Why? Because see, at this place in my life where I'm at now, I just can't do it. And it ain't even so much of me saying that I can't do it. My body won't let me do it. Once certain things then occur between me and the person, I may still be friends with you, but that's going to be the extent of it. And sometimes you can't even be that because some people will try to be that just so they can see if they still got access to you. I've recently changed my phone number for that very reason. Because who do you think you is to keep popping up and disappearing out somebody's life? No. I'm not your second choice or another option, or you don't get to spin the block or double back because whatever it is you try to play me about didn't work out. No. I'm going to control who got access, when, why, and where. Me. Because once again, we keep trying to expect everybody else to give us what we need for ourselves. No, me. I just woke up one day and just made the conscious decision that I needed a fresh start. And when you hear people say that, don't think that means, oh yeah, because I'm going to move clear across the country. No, it starts with little itty bitty decisions. Now I can control the narrative. Hey, how you doing? We cool. But that's the extent of it. Because sometimes we delay our own self. Keep dealing with foolishness. Keep dealing with the people who bring it. We never gonna get where we going. We never gonna meet who we supposed to meet when we keep entertaining, tolerating, and dealing with the ones that we know ain't for us. It's a waste of time. Not to say that I don't have a beautiful life, long life ahead of me, because I do. But I'm not about to keep wasting my time. I'm not. You got a test trial with me. Ask anybody. I'm the leaver queen. I will leave you in a minute. If I start seeing stuff that's already no, I'm not about to try to figure out why. And stop trying to fix people. Stop trying to fix people, man. You can't change them. You can't make them be who you want them to be. You can't make them act right. You can't make nobody do nothing. You're not in control of them. You in control of yourself. Precisely. But we have so many people out here engaging in the dating world, and they not looking for love. They looking for help. And I'm sorry, I just don't agree with my significant other or my spouse or my partner being my therapist. That's not your job. I don't want you to fix me. I don't want to fix you. What I want to do is support you while you do the work for yourself. And that's okay. And I think sometimes people get the lines blurred. They start thinking like, oh, okay, because you're going to support me while I'm going through what I'm going through, then that means that that's the position you should play in a relationship. No, that's not what it means. And shame on you for taking advantage of somebody showing up for you for once. Because in the end, that's what everybody wants. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want somebody to show up for them. Argue with somebody else about it. Because these is all facts. Can we start loving ourselves? Because that's the root of everything that somebody can talk about, deal with, go through, and endure. There's a disconnect between us and our higher self. The best version of ourselves. Because I'm with a lot of people, yes, single, and people will be the first stereotype somebody will say is it must be something wrong with you. Why you ain't got no man? No, it's not. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm just not about to just choose, settle, or deal with anybody just so I could say, like, yeah, I got somebody. No. That's like posing for a picture, smiling when you really angry, upset, and feel defeated. I'm not about to play no game. I'm not about to make it look like something it ain't. No. For what? Why? See, a lot of us is too old to still be moving how we moved when we was in high school, how we moved when we was in junior high. Grow up. Because it's a perpetual cycle when you choose to not change. It's the definition of insanity. You just gonna keep doing the same stuff, expecting different results. You the problem. And point the finger at everybody. Oh no, it was them, and they would no, because it would have never been no them. If you wouldn't have been working on yourself, if you would have been creating boundaries for yourself, it wouldn't have been nobody to get that close to do nothing to you. We do a lot of times we do that to ourselves. We get all the feelings and warnings, and we'll ignore it. We'll look right past it. Oh, I just want to see the good in them. No, stop doing that. You don't just need to see the good in everybody, because some people don't have no good in them. I'm sorry. They just don't, for whatever reason. And that's not for you to figure out, fix, work on. It's not your issue. You got to be able to move on from stuff that's not for you. You got to be willing to, hey, nope. And that's why I said I'll leave in a minute. I ain't got time. We giving in to too much stuff when it comes to people that clearly they haven't earned, they don't deserve. And I'm talking about titles, I'm talking about sexual activity, I'm talking about time. I mean, it's a list of things that we do, and then we get upset. Well, if you wasn't genuinely doing it from your heart anyway, it wasn't right. So who you really got to blame? I wish that we would just have some accountability for the things that we choose to partake in, entertain, indulge in, whatever word you want to use. It is a choice. Every single move that you make is a choice. Nobody is twisting your arm. Ain't nobody got nothing to your head telling you got to, you better, you. No. We choosing a lot of this stuff that we go through. We choosing it. Mm-hmm. And then we want somebody to blame. It's nobody to blame but yourself. Go ahead and tell yourself, I apologize for doing differently than what I knew I should have been doing. Because I know better. So then you can grow. And that way there's no space for guilt or shame or none of that, because you've already released yourself from it. And it's okay, because we human. We got to have some grace with ourselves, because change is hard. It's not easy. People talk about it like it's easy. It's not easy. It's hard. It's easy to do what everybody else doing. It's easy to go with the masses and follow whatever trend or whatever hot things going on right now. That's easy. It's hard for you to start saying to yourself, no, I'm going to start showing up for myself. I'm going to start standing on business about myself. I'm going to create some boundaries for myself. I'm going to give myself some self-love and some self-care. The TLC that I'm really desperately seeking, I'm going to give it to myself. I just talked about this on Friday. You only going to track who you are. Stop thinking that, oh, I got to have a man that's 6'3", 250, 6-pack, and this man might not even be emotionally intelligent. We got to stop focusing on the exterior, man. No one can love you better than you. Yeah. But somehow we got confused. We started thinking it's going to feel better if it comes from somebody else. We essentially start putting our joy and happiness in the hands of other people, and then getting mad when they don't do what we need them to do for us. But understand that the way somebody treats you is going to be based off of the way they see you treat yourself. Now that's some news you can use. I don't ever see you really take care of yourself, so why would I? I don't never really see you do nothing nice for yourself, so why would I? I don't never hear you say no or set boundaries, so why would I have any? We got to stop blaming other people for reciprocating what they see or what their experience was in reference to us. You got to stop. Because that's all it is. If you gave out some shitty energy to a person, how in the world can you be mad about them returning it to sender? You gave it out. You essentially have to give out what it is you want to receive back in return. So if you expecting positive outcomes and results, then that's what you got to push out. Because it's coming back like a boomerang, bro. That's what I had to learn. Like, oh, I gave that out. I remember that. See, we quick to have amnesia about some stuff. Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, yes, you do. Mm-hmm. And the universe have a way of making sure you remember it when it's time for it to come back. You be it like, yeah, I'm that, I'm doing that, I'm this. And then that boomerang come back, that ill energy you sent out, that negativity you put out, come back and smack you right in the face. And you be like, why this happening to? Because it's what you put out. Karma don't have a return date. It don't have a return date. It just lets you know that it's going to happen. You don't need to worry about when. Because you want to think about no date, time, and person, place, or thing when you said and did what you said and did. So you just gotta go with the flow in life. I'm not saying be no crash dummy, but we no longer making stuff hard for ourselves. We facing whatever issues we got. We dealing with them. We healing that. We not projecting old trauma from previous relationships onto new things, new connections. We not doing that. And if you don't start now and you just keep telling yourself, well, I'm going to do it next year, understand that the next year is next month. You done went the whole year already keep talking about what you going to do. Stop talking and get busy. We can't do nothing about what's happening in this world around us and the things that people choose to do with their lives until we start making the necessary change and healing within ourselves. Imagine the energy force that would go across the entire world if everybody just took time out to work on themselves. It wouldn't be room for negativity. It wouldn't be room for drama. It wouldn't be room for confusion because everybody is owning their shit, taking accountability, and doing the work. The world is toxic because most of the people in it is. The world is dysfunctional because most of the people in the world is dysfunctional. We got to do better. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode, man. Because I did, boy. The things that we going to discuss here in the next couple of days. Oh, man. But y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for Friday's episode. I got some really good stuff coming up. I'm going to get some more guests up on here, because we got some things to talk about. We definitely do. I don't want us to end this year right here without tackling some more heavy duty, maybe traumatizing topics. But we got to do it. If I can be brave, if I can be transparent, if I can be vulnerable, you can too. I hope that you choose to share. I hope that you choose to walk and stand and live in your truth, man. Because it's yours. I love y'all. Y'all be careful. It's cold out. We done got our first slight little snowfall. Take care of yourself. Slow down. It has been way, way, way too many car accidents this year. Slow down. I love you too, cuz. Slow down, man. You gonna get where you going. If you gotta leave a little earlier, do that. But slow down, man. Don't hurt nobody trying to get where you going. Don't let nobody hurt you trying to get where they going. Be careful. Love on yourself. Do something for yourself. I always tell you that it make you feel better. Do something for somebody else. Oh, that make you feel so much better. But learn how to live in love, man. That's my new motto now. I'm gonna live in love. I don't have time or the capacity for nothing else. I love y'all. Y'all be careful. I will see y'all on Friday, 8 p.m. Be cool now, man. This has been a mini episode of Unspoken Truth. I'm your host, Denise. Peace.